Hello, everybody. Logic Hog is back. And if you watched my last video on Just Go, I was really tired after work, but I've taken a nap, and I still feel like playing Go. I could be shooting at people, I could be digging a hole in out of ore. No, no, no. I'm gonna fuel my hobby by sitting here at midnight in my underwear. Yes, ladies. And drinking a Dickie's cup full of fresh brewed iced tea while fueling one of my dumb little hobbies. But I figured I'd share that with you. So I'm back on, and a lot less grumpy, and a little more mentally active. So let's jump back into the career. Because I ranked up. I'm 19Q. So that means I'm exponentially better than I was last time, right? Once you rank up, I mean, it's like, holy crap, I'm not a white belt anymore. Oh. But we're going to play Mr. Harada Taro, an amateur 19Q, and I think it's still going to be on a 9x9, which I'm okay with because 9x9 are quick games and they're out of my comfort zone because I'm used to a normal size board. So, again, Chinese rules, 5.5 handicap. And one thing about Go that I didn't do a good job of explaining the rules of the game last time is one of the things I love is this handicap has a half point. It is literally impossible to tie the game with this half point. So there's no ties. I love that. The 10-minute time limit, 30-second overtime, and we're going to take the middle. Again, just for the flexibility, being able to go wherever I want afterwards, kind of shape the board to whatever I want to do. So he goes there. I'm just going to try and play for territory. The goal is to get as many points as I can by taking the most of the board and just happen to kill everything along the way. So I don't want to go here because that kind of opens him up to go here. I don't want to go here because that gives him the opportunity to kind of break that. So I'm going to go here just to kind of have an even, steady spread. But again, I'm not a very good player. So where do I go from here? I could go here, but that leaves him open to spread out here and kind of defeat my strategy. I could go here and pin him against the wall, and then he goes there. So I go there, and then, yeah, I like that. Let's see what happens. Because again, I'm here to learn. This is a learning exercise. Lower the volume a little bit. Okay, so he's trying to do that. I need to kind of defend this piece because it's going to open up. So he goes, if I go here and he goes here, I go here. And if he goes there, I go there. All right, that works out. Let's meet him in the middle. Because again, I have the majority of the board. He's free to spread out into whatever territory here. He's just taking his own points. Yeah, like that. It's like, all right, dude, what do you want? Fine, I'll just squeeze you. But again, these are probably not good strategies for like higher level play because, I should be playing for the most points possible, not to resolve conflicts. Where it's like conflicts are okay, just as long as you keep them controlled. Because again, like this, all right, does this really threaten me? Because I could go here and start squeezing him there and just making sure I have points. I could go here and kind of secure this area. Because this isn't really dangerous yet. Okay. In fact, that's what I'm going to do. I like this because this kind of secures me a fourth of the board. Where if he goes here, I just go here. Let's see what happens. And he has to respond by kind of keeping me from squeezing him down into here. All right. So he's reinforcing that. That is becoming dangerous now. But how do I want to handle this? Because if I go here, he goes here, then I have to keep him from hooking up with that. If I go here, he goes here, then he branches out, has two liberties. Yes, liberties, not freedoms. Idiot. That's how you can tell, like, my mind was not in a good state after a full, like, day's of work. Or it's just like, all right, dude, you've forgotten details about your own freaking hobby. But this only has two liberties right there, so I need to go. If he goes there, I branch out here. If he goes here, he pins me against the wall. But I'm able to kill him. No. Yes. I'd be able to kill him if he tries to pin me. So let's see what happens. Because again, he could play a dumbass move. Like, all right, that's an interesting move, but I need to resolve this conflict because I can keep these from being dangerous pretty easily. He would want to go here, but the thing is I would just kill him. Yeah, like, all right, let's uh, let's keep him from connecting there. That's a setup move to kind of branch out. Yep, he goes there. I go there. And going there would just let me kill him. All right. He's going there. What happens if he goes here? If he goes there, I would have to probably kill this group or keep them from branching out. Because I kind of want to go here or here to keep them from spreading. Not too sure yet. Yeah. All right. Let's see. Hmm. Come on, Logicog, you're a genius. How could this possibly be bothering you? Because I'm afraid of failing in front of my millions and millions of fans on YouTube. Let's see, what are you gonna do? Because again, I'm not playing at a level where mistakes are really dangerous yet. Because a lot of this stuff can just be countered pretty easily. All right. I'm kind of wanting to squeeze him. If I go one tile, that's fine. But if I go two tiles, he goes here, then I have to connect. Then he's gonna say fuck you, and I kill him. All right, let's be a little aggressive. I don't know. There's a formula to this, and I haven't learned the formula yet. I haven't studied the game enough. But they make little kids learn this game in school in like Korea. That's one of the things that I learned to do is I bought the Korean like elementary school textbooks for this game. And that was pretty fun to read through those. Is that dangerous? Do I need to address that? Drink some tea. Mind fuel. Hmm. Can I make him worry about something? I do kind of want to branch out there. I do kind of want to squeeze him there. Playing there doesn't really do much. Just going to secure territory for now. Because again, if he separates these two, I'm probably fine. Okay. So I'm probably going to have to connect. Do I need to connect? No, not really. I'm still going to squeeze him. I'm going to make this more secure and just be like, dude, you effed up. Yeah, so he's making a shape. Like I said, a shape, not necessarily a good shape. Because I'm doing what I did in the last game, which does not work at higher levels, even little bit of higher levels. Is I'm just snaking behind him, and it's like, nope, like that's not a good thing to do. I'm gonna keep him from connecting with this. Because again, I remembered the term sente is the initiative where it's like, all right, he has sente because I'm responding to his moves. And I'm okay with that right now because I have control of the majority of the board. And all right, let's go ahead and just block this whole thing off. Keep him from connecting with anything because I have control. He has sente, but I have control. So which one is more important? All right, this isn't good for me. Not a big deal because there's a reason why I ignored this. Um, is because if I go here, oh, well, that lets me kill one of two of these, but it also lets him branch out. But it's like, all right, now I just kill everything here, and then these two are significantly less dangerous. And he goes there. That's a dumbass move. So I'm gonna. Do I rein these in? Do I connect with this? Do I squeeze? I'm gonna squeeze because I'm literally like 5 moves away from killing this, and I don't see him being a danger in 5 moves anywhere. All right, I do need to connect with that now because I don't want him to separate these two pieces. Now this is just one big, huge shape. And that got rid of one of his liberties. So now this is easier to kill. So it's like, dude, what the heck? All right, let's just rein these in a little bit, make sure we have control, make sure we have the ability to kill them, make sure they don't become more powerful than they need to be. All right, he plays there. I say you're a dumbass. And it just makes my shape stronger here, even though that's not a shape you normally want to do, because diagonals are weak in Go. Let's see. How do I rein this in? Because I don't want them to be a living shape here. I don't want them to establish two eyes. But again, like to continue, diagonals are weak in Go, and so it takes quite a few turns to make this stronger. But I mean, I can easily just connect. So it's not too big of a danger. Plus, if they play there or there, I just kill them in one move. It's kind of like a, yeah, okay, dude. Oh, I want to go there. Because if he goes there, I go there. Then he goes there and I kill him. If he goes there, I go there. He goes there and I kill him. So that controls the group. That, I'm not even going to pay attention to that because that's part of a big shape here. That doesn't threaten me in the slightest. So I'm just going to focus on killing this group. I have control of the board. Like, I'm pretty sure I win at this point. So I'm interested in the review to see, what it shows. Because I was sloppy in the last video. I jumped right into the review. I didn't explain anything about the career or anything like that. I was just like, I want to play Go. I want to play Go. I'm going to make a video of it. And so now I've had my nap playing Midnight Go in my underwear. I'm going to kill this group in one move. So now this group is in Atari. There's not much he can do about it. This is where I start taking the board. And, yep, I don't want... it's a lot easier to get 2 eyes when you have a line of 4 in this area. I'm not going to go into the deep strategy because I'm not very good at this game and I don't want to talk out of my ass. Keep that from escaping because that's a dead group now. So now I'm going for board control and shape control. Where do I need to respond to that? This is where I'm training my mind now, where it's like, do I need to respond to that? Because I want to go here and get closer to killing this group and getting all of this territory. And my clock's getting really low. So I don't really care about the clock because the clock, it had 10 minutes of normal time, but it's got 3 sections of 30 seconds overtime. And so those repeat. So basically, when this clock runs out, as I'm going to let it do.
3 periods left.
All right, so now I have 3 periods of 30 seconds. And as long as I play within 30 seconds, it doesn't use up one of those periods. So I'm going to be a little bit dangerous because I know I'm going to win the game. Even if, like, he kills some of this stuff, I'm going to win the game. And so I'm okay with making a few mistakes in order to learn some strategy. So, okay, dude. Ah. Doesn't really matter which place I play in. Because it's just like, do I kill him in 2 moves or 3? I mean, that's a big decision at higher levels because one turn can make all the difference. But in this state, it's kind of like, all right, whatever. I don't want to go here because then he just kills me in 1 move. I don't really want to go here because then he just kills me in 2 moves.
10, 9, 8, 7, 6.
All right, whatever. I was pressured by the clock. Fear the timer. All right, that's the computer being desperate. I know that move. That's whenever it's like I can't play anywhere. I can't play anywhere. I'll just play in the corner. All right.
Pass.
I'm going to pass. The computer's going to pass. The game's over. The computer knew it was going to lose, so that's kind of like a I don't know if it's programmed in, but that's kind of like a polite way to bow out. So, let's go over what I skipped in the last game because like I said, the last game I finished the game and I was like, yeah, I've seen this 100 times. But black wins by 78.5 points. So win or lose, white gets that handicap. So 9 by 9, there's 81 points on the board. And this is where Chinese versus Japanese scoring comes into play. Now, I may be misquoting this, but one significant difference is that in Chinese rules, the points, the spaces you play on still count as your territory. In Japanese rules, the spaces you play on are eliminated. They're no longer points. So you can see in Chinese rules, there's a total of 81 points, period. So if you control the whole board, even the spaces you occupy, still count as points. In Japanese rules, they don't. And we'll see the difference later. This is just a career thing. I I don't know what's going on there, but finish the game. This is just career video game stuff. But the big thing here is this is how much I win by. Black wins by 78.5 points. So let's see what went on. Let's see where I goofed up. Let's see. I did pretty good. There's not any significant digs in the estimated score. So let's turn on the analyzation. So you can see in 9x9, the first move is generally in the middle, according to the computer. In bigger boards, it's usually better to take a corner first because it requires less moves to take a corner. So you can you can secure a significant amount of points through the corner on a larger board. But here, the flexibility to branch out is a lot easier. So I go in the middle, he goes there. I don't think anything's wrong here. Where should I go according to the computer? What's the next move? Okay, the next move, according to the computer, is to be a little more aggressive and like conflict with that piece rather than branching out. But again, like I play here, and that's basically the same as playing here. It's just mirrored on a different part of the board. So I didn't play that bad of a move. I played the second best move. Because again, that's mirrored. Well, no. Okay, never mind. That's mirrored from this. All right. So I didn't play in the top 5 moves. But you can see the strategy that the computer plays by just clicking this. And what happens if I be aggressive? There. Yeah, he's like, he should secure his life. And then I squeeze him into the wall. 2 spaces from the wall is pretty safe to say, you're up against the wall. And he would go there. That's assuming they would go there. There's no guarantee like a bad computer would play the best move. And then I go and I conflict with them there. And he squeezes out and I back off to secure that corner. Okay. That's good enough for me. I'm not going all 15 moves out. I can't remember that, but just knowing when to be aggressive and when to back off is really, really important in Go. So let's keep looking at it. So I go there, he goes there, which is like, what the heck? I squeeze him, he branches out. Let the computer chug a little bit to calculate. Because he can't decide whether or not a good move is to go here. They're all kind of good moves in the computer's eyes. So as long as I'm playing a good move in the computer's eyes, that's good enough for me. So you can see easily the best move is to go here. Because then if I go there, he squeezes out, and if I go here, he connects with his pieces. So he should play there, period. But he doesn't. And so now it's like easily the brightest move here is punish him. But I don't. And now it's like, oh, the computer has a second chance. But the computer's an idiot too. And it's like, punish him for that. Punish him. And I don't. But was that a good move? Got to let the computer chug a little bit to calculate. No, that wasn't even a good move in the computer's eyes. Wow. Okay, well, this is me learning. This is why I'm playing this. And, I'm having fun, so I figured I might as well share it with you guys. because you may learn how to play this game too. And yep, I think I want to play there. No, I don't. Because, it's like, all right, whenever that thing makes a mistake, you got to rein that in. You have to take control over it. But I don't. Oh, that's going to hurt later. Whenever I'm playing harder opponents, that's going to hurt me. So, okay, an important thing here, though, is that that move gave me control over this entire part of the board. But the computer is doing things, all right, where did I go here? That's not even a good move. See, that's not even a good move. It's not in the top 5. That's not a good move. Where I should be going here to punish that. Make him join up with this. Because then otherwise I'll just kill him. Because here, this is the way it would go. Here, then if he goes here, I go there. But if he goes here, I go there and connect. Man, what the heck? Not too happy with this. Not too happy with the way I responded to the moves, because you can see the estimated score went down. Because that didn't really affect anything. Oops. All right. The computer's like, all right, you should connect these pieces, punish that, or just rein this in, or expand here, because the computer has control over half the board right now. It's still about 50-50, according to the computer. I'm only winning by 11 points. So going there, it's like, yes, you need to connect this. And I do. All right. I made the right choice there. My goal, my goal is to learn enough to play at least in the top 5 moves. So he goes there, and I'm like, all right, should probably connect. Because again, my first reaction is go here. Then if he tries to connect, I just kill him. And that's what I did. All right, cool. So he connects with those. I kind of want to wrap around. Again, first, I'm playing it a second time in my mind and making sure my strategy is the same, as like my knee-jerk reaction needs to be in the top 5. So even the computer, it's like, dude, you should just pass. You've won this game. It says in the top 5 moves is just to pass. But that doesn't really help in Chinese moves. In Japanese, you'd just be playing into one of the spaces you already control, and so you're eating your own points. But in Chinese rules, it's just like, yeah, dude, you own the game. So, like, even in the top 5 moves, it's like, yeah, all right, your best move right now is to pass. Because, look at this, 4th best, 3rd best, 2nd best, 5th best is that desperation move where this makes no sense. But I'm like, nope, I need to strengthen my position at least. I'm okay with him getting other points. But yeah, at this point, I own the board. And I'm just reining him in and making my pieces stronger. And at this point, I've won. Yeah, see, even it's like, dude, you own the entire board. Game over. All right. So that's a little interesting to review that game. Because again, very weak opponent. However, it's one of those things where I need to make in the top 5 moves. My knee jerk reaction to play needs to be in the top 5 if I'm going to play against stronger opponents. And these are really short games too. So I'm making a video of each game. But I mean, this is, 9x9 is the smallest board you can get. These are so quick games. And I have a cloth mat that I take to the bar, and I teach people how to play this game at the bar. Because, Doesn't matter if you're drunk or not. This game is so easy to learn. But like you can play a 9x9 game really quickly. So I'm kind of curious as to whenever it's going to branch out into by 13 or a full board of 19 by 19 because those get crazy as you can see in this icon here. That gets complex where you have to determine, all right, which pieces can I afford to let die in order to have control over the board? Which battles do I lose on purpose in order to win the war? And that's what makes this game so crazy and fun. But we'll get there when we get there. And I'm just waiting for the first game where, I get my face shoved into the board and I have to admit defeat in front of, again, my horde of fans on YouTube. But enough talking. That was a good game. It was a lot more fun to play after having a nap and having some tea and, just chilling in my underwear. So I'll see you guys in the next game because I'm going to keep playing, but I'll post the videos whenever they come on because I kind of want to spread these out and you don't want to see me digging a hole in out of ore every single day. So Logic Hog is out.